Hey there, Julia Rose here. I pray this message finds you at the precise time you need it. One announcement before we get into the message. I am teaching a Reiki Master training for the Kundalini Reiki system starting April 22nd, and it will have weekly Zoom meetings, twice a week actually, every Tuesday and Thursday evening, Eastern Standard Time. So check out the link in the description box below for more information. That's at fromspiritforlove.com/KRS, Kundalini Reiki system. And it's a really awesome opportunity to receive direct mentoring while studying Reiki. That's not usually as common these days, and it will also give you an opportunity to directly mentor under me if that's something you've been interested in. So if you're curious about more information and to sign up for that, the link is in the description box below. All right, first thing I want to touch on is the intensity of the solar flares, activating a lot of emotional purging, especially on the other side of this solar eclipse and new moon energy. Some of you have been experiencing a lot of emotional turbulence. It's all related to that. A lot of you even physically heating up. So just roll with the punches, breathe, decompress, take whatever time you need to do whatever it is you need to do to stay balanced, to stay steady, to stay integrated. Another thing too, I feel like a lot of you are very hypersensitive to others' anger at this time. So if you find yourself getting really reactive or frustrated and it seems like out of nowhere, meditate to really understand the root of that, to see where that's coming from, so you can cut cords, alchemize energy, or even understand your own perspective a little bit better as needed, okay? So yeah, just off the bat, I feel like y'all have been riled up, and I don't even know why. Okay, we're not using that text, Spirit said. We're gonna get into it. I want to know what you need to know right now. Something about your boundaries being tested, people being frustrated by your lack of giving in, where maybe they thought they could have had you cross your own boundaries in the past. Maybe that was something that you've worked on intensely. But I'm telling you, these things are going to start coming up out of the blue, and it's going to really be for no reason other than these people just want you to be the same controllable version of yourself that you used to be. Okay? So if you start to feel energetic backlash of maintaining your boundaries, meaning like you set a boundary, you were firm with it, and then people keep testing you, and you're still just like, I don't know why you think that your behavior is going to change the way that I am about my boundary. You might be feeling their anger at, well, how can they just not care anymore? Or how could you say that? Or who do you think you are? And I'm sorry, you're that bitch. My collective is on the next level, okay? And so you're not going to be fitting in to the same molds that you used to have. That's normal. That's a natural consequence of growing, okay? You could be seeing 333. You could also be seeing 1055, 955, and 111. Yeah. 911. I don't know if I said, but I was feeling that strongly. Yeah. We have the 9 of Pentacles. People are like, the audacity. Like, the audacity. The audacity. People have never met someone with as much personal power as you, okay? And it really triggers them, okay? As always, these are collective readings. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If y'all are some of my faithfuls and you're watching the videos that I upload daily or nearly every day, just know that sometimes these videos won't resonate for you, and that's totally normal because my collective spans many different segments of the light workers at large, okay? So as always, take what resonates, leave the rest. And these videos are timeless. It's always why I pray they find you at the precise time you need them. So again, some of you are just on this level where you're like, you've worked so hard to get into this energy of you're just feeling yourself all the time. You're loving what you're up to. You're loving the way that you're learning how to love yourself. You're loving the way that you're learning how to mold your life into something you desire. You're learning how to validate yourself, and you're loving it. And this is calling all of your power back. And people are just kind of like, huh? Or I don't, you're not how I remember you. Someone said that to you, or someone's saying that. Yeah, you're not how I remember you. And good, because you've grown. Congratulations. We have the Strength card. You've been opening up to greater heights. Maybe, see, you understand your soul's evolution and where you're going. You understand what it is you want to be, which is that fully bloomed flower, okay? That eternal beauty, that eternal love, that eternal bliss, okay? And maybe these people that are talking about you knew you when you were budding, when you were just starting to be like, oh, wait, this is how it is, this is what I want, this is how it works, and you were still going through the really horrible growing pains of like figuring out how to burst out of this cocoon, how to grow. You were learning how to grow when these people knew you, okay? And now that you're in this like, oh, I'm feeling myself energy, they're like, what? I keep distinctly hearing, you're not how I remember you. So good for you, collective. Take it as validation and confirmation that you actually have done the work to grow. You actually have done the work to become a better version of yourself, a version of you that you are more proud to be. Even if you're not 100% there, fuck, you're further than you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, okay? I feel like these people are mad. Because I was trying to get into the energy of the collective and understand the message for today, and I was just like, yo, why am I angry? Because it didn't make sense. It's like, you're feeling everyone else's anger. You're feeling everyone else's anger. Oh, yeah. Because you made a choice to do something new. We have the Two of Wands. And then Destiny, the Wheel of Fortune, number 10. You could be seeing 1010. 1022, 808, 222, 1222, 921. Yeah, this is just so interesting. It's like, you've done the work. Because I think some of you might have been really deeply affected by things that are trying to come back and force their way back into your reality. You might have been really upset by these things in the past, but now you can just brush it off and keep moving like it's nothing. And the amount of insignificance, this is savage spirit today, okay? The amount of insignificance you're placing on these things that used to drive you nuts, or that you really used to care about, that you were very invested in, that you realized were taking more from you than were reciprocating with you. Because, right, there has to be a balance. The fact that you completely shifted, it feels like some of these people are like, they did a 180, what? They did an absolute 180. Well, good for you. I'm going to keep saying good for you, because I don't know if you've been getting the feedback or the validation that you are growing, that you've been making the right choices when you continue newness, continue making choices in the direction of newness, but you totally have. You deserve it. And just like, oh my God, so I was steeping tea, and it's like, right now, you're at the point where it's perfect. Like, you've been working on the brew, you've been mastering the way that you want things done, you've been mastering and learning about the way that you want your reality to be, and now it's just like, chef's kiss. Something about this is just so beautiful, so perfect, so right for you. And I think it's also this energy here as well of like, you're coming into a radical understanding of how powerful you really are. A radical understanding of how much change you can catalyze and how much success you deserve. I mean, I'm telling you, these people understood how powerful you were, but they didn't want to help you see that. Yeah, they didn't want to help you see that. They were just hoping that you wouldn't recognize it for long enough that they could continue using you. And it's Aries season and we're sipping on the tea, okay? We are sipping on that tea. Ooh. Ooh, perfect. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Some of you, I feel like places that you left behind, you were making predictions left, right, and center. Like, you've always been psychic, you've always been empathic, intuitive, you've always been able to call things out as you saw them. And whether or not people really believed them, you knew, you were like, oh, so this is how this is going to play out. And you might have told people these things, and people were like, what are you talking about? And then slowly these things were starting to come true when you were still in these places or in these connections. Some of this is a community, a workplace, a hobby, somewhere like you have a hobby. And these things are all like, people are just like, wait, no, so-and-so totally said this was going to happen. So-and-so totally said this was going to happen. And now literally it's happening right before our eyes. And I feel like Spirit's not having you look back at any of this stuff, because you don't need to be looking back on anything. You were where you needed to be when you were there. And now that you've learned, you've grown, you've moved on, that's really it. That's really it. And I feel like some people are, from your past, wanting to reconnect with you. It's like a staple of Mercury retrograde, right? But I feel like this is going to continue out for the next few months. Whenever you're finding this, I'm recording it March 30th, 2025. For the next few months, I really feel like there's going to be people trying to like re-enter, but they don't understand that your barrier for entry is much higher. But energetically, they can feel that, and they're quite intimidated of you. So understand that the people that are on your level will have respect for your integrity, your authority, your personal sense of power. And you're now in an energy where Spirit's not going to be wasting your time anymore. Like, if people are masking their true selves, if they're not being honest with you about who they really are and what their honest intentions are, Spirit's not going to let things play out. And you might be wondering, well, that really sucked. Or why didn't this person text me back? Or why did that job opportunity not follow through? Why did this networking opportunity this person just ghost me? Like, why is this happening this way? And it's because your energy right now is on fire. And Spirit doesn't want anything interacting with your forward momentum, okay? So sometimes these people are getting messages from their guides and their like spirit team that they can't really interact with you anymore. They can't really interfere with what it is that you're going to do. Not necessarily that everyone has this intention to interfere per se, but the people that are wanting to get in on it, if that feels like a thing, wanting to get in on whatever it is you're doing. No. Spirit quite simply is just like, nice try. No. 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 Mm-mm. 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 Come correct or on to the next. And yeah, thank you. Yup. Right on. That's literally those cards, okay? I'll pick them up in a sec. But literally, Spirit, because of how much you're not effing around with your energy and what you're putting your time and effort into anymore, because you are getting so grounded in your focus and really honing in on what it is you want, Spirit's like, okay, so they're serious now. Anything less than their level of serious, there's no room. Thank you. Next. Okay. So we always have to have some cards flying because it adds to the level of impact. Okay. And we had the 10 of Swords. So here we have 1010, confirmation that number is something you might be seeing. The Advisor or the High Priestess. I feel like some people were really told, yeah, these people that were told not to F with you, they didn't listen, so they had to find out the hard way, okay? And then, yep, 7 of Wands, drama. Spirit's not letting anyone bring nonsense in your life. No one and nothing. You don't have time for that. If they're not adding to your peace, if they're not improving your stability, or working on themselves with you at the same rate that you're working on yourself, it's just no. It's just a no. It's a no from me, said Simon Cowell. It's a no from me, said Howie Mandel. I wanted to say King of Wands, but this is the King of Pentacles. The Gossip, yeah, Page of Swords. And there, the King of Wands, I told you, the King of Wands. You don't have any weak spots. You don't have any energetic weak points or access points or no buttons that these people can push. You wonder why Spirit's been triggering them out of you? It's because Spirit doesn't want anything knocking you off course anymore. You've been triggered so that you can be aware of what will never stand in your way again. Granted that you're looking at these things and accepting them for the truth. See? Accepting them for the truth of what they are. A lot of you are experiencing throat chakra activations, third eye activations, solar plexus, crown, and root chakra activations. Some of you have been working on money manifestation. That's coming in. That's coming in. I don't have a quantity. I don't have a timeline, but as long as you keep going in the direction that you're going and pursuing yourself relentlessly, pursuing your joy relentlessly here in the physical realm, Spirit's going to take care of you, okay? So just keep going. Keep going in the directions that you feel called and that you know is in your best interest. So I want to dive into this energy a little bit more with that feels like the King of Pentacles energy, but what is this with the Page of Swords and the King of Wands? You took your power back. There were some things that people never thought you'd be able to grow from. They never thought that you'd be able to bounce back from, but here you are, proving them all wrong because they messed with the wrong one. And they didn't want to believe you when you told them who you were. And because they didn't believe you, Spirit had to come in and be like, yeah, you're not messing with mine. That's my chosen one over there. I don't think so. And of course they whisper it, but if the whispers aren't heard, it's louder and louder and louder until kabloom. Very interesting message today. Do more of what is good for you, so you can keep shining and becoming the version of yourself that you want to be. And know that it feels like there's a lot of limitations that you might have perceived in your reality, that because you're actually making these micro changes, not just in your mindset, but in the ways that you're allowing yourself to perceive the action that you take so that you really can be taking that action, Spirit's actually helping you release the rest of these limiting mindsets. And I feel like this is something that's been building up for quite a long time. And I'm seeing this energy be especially loud for fire signs in Aries season. Or whenever this is that you're finding this right now, you could have significant fire placements. If not, that's just for someone here, okay? That wasn't sure if this message was totally for them, but yeah. Put it where it fits, right? So I'm going to continue this message over on Patreon. This felt like really, it's like Spirit's shining a light on the drama, but it's so interesting because it's like all these things in the shadows seem really massive, but then Spirit's like, oh no, let's actually look at the truth of this. And then what you thought was like a bear turns out to be like a little field mouse, okay? Everything's being put back into perspective for you. I'm going to continue this over on Patreon. The link's in the description box below to join me over there. And I want to say also, if this resonates with you, book a personal reading with me. The link's in the description box below to connect with me personally. I offer readings either offline if you would rather not meet in person, but all of my readings are conducted over Zoom, so we get to connect real time. All right. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one, wherever that is.